Happy Friday. I get to come back on Monday. I'm pretty excited about that because talking to myself making videos is a little monotonous. So today we're going to review some of these things because I know you struggled. Now please remember that no, your test is not next week. Yes, we're going to review all of this because yes, I know it's really hard, and yes, I know it's confusing. So thank you for playing along and watching my award-winning videos and just pushing through this week. I appreciate it so much. All right, so we're going to practice some proofwriting again today. So remember, the top few statements are always your given point parts, and the very last one is always your triangle. Okay, why is it congruent? So here we're told that L is the midpoint of segment KN and of segment MP. So that's our very first thing we write. L is the midpoint oops, I wrote too big, of KN and MP. I wrote too big. And that's given. All right. Well, what does that tell us? What is the midpoint? Yeah, it's the middle point. Okay? So L is the middle point of KN and it's the middle point of MP. So what does that do? Yeah, it cuts it in half. All right? Which means that KL is congruent to LN. So segment KL is congruent to segment NL, and that's the definition of midpoint. Right. Likewise, it's going to cut MP in half, so ML is congruent to LP. So L congruent to LP. Again, that's definition of midpoint. All right. Well, we got two sides. So remember, our choices are side, 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 angle, angle, or angle, angle, side. There is no angle, side, side. None, no, none, zippo, nada. All right, well, we got two sides, so we know it can't be angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side. Do we know anything about KM or PN? Do we know if those are congruent? Yeah, I know they look like it, but that's all we know is they look like it. All right, so no, we don't know anything. So it can't be side, side, side either. So it's looking like it should be side, angle, side. Now remember that angle has to be the included angle, the angle that is made up by the two congruent sides. So here's one side, here's a side. So we need to show that that angle is congruent to this angle. How do we know that those angles are congruent? Ding, 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 you got it, vertical angles. So we're going to say angle MLK, that's this one, start at M, down to L, out to K, is going to be congruent to angle PLN. That's because they're vertical angles. I told you those weren't going away. Okay, so since we have side, angle, side, we can say that triangle MKL is congruent to triangle PNL by side, angle, side. Wasn't that fun? Mm-hmm. All right, number two. Number two, we're given that BD bisects angle ABC, and we're given that angle BAD is congruent to angle BCD. And we need to show that those two triangles are congruent. So our first one is, holy cow, excuse me. This is our first given. So segment BD bisects angle ABC. That's given. We're also given that angle BAD is congruent to angle BCD, because that's given. So let's label that angle BAD. So we start at A, how about we start at B, down to A, out to D. So that's this angle here. And then we got angle BCD. I know my letters today, holy cow. So we start at B, up to C, down to D. So we know those two angles are congruent. Excuse me. All right, now BD bisects angle ABC. Here's your angle ABC. This segment here is bisecting that. Bisect means, remember, cut in half. So that means this angle, which is angle ABD, we start at A, down to B, out to D, is going to be congruent to this angle over here. So we start at C, up to B, down to D. Okay, and that's the definition of an angle bisector. Okay, so we got two angles, so it can be angle side angle or angle angle side. In order for it to be angle side angle, we would need to know something about the length of AB and the length of BC, because that's the side that connects the two angles. Again, they look like they're congruent, but we don't know that for sure. But we do know one side is congruent to another side. Yeah, BD. BD is congruent to BD by that reflexive property. Okay, so we know that that's congruent. So now we have angle, angle, side. So we're going to have triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD. What did I say? Angle, angle, side. By angle, angle, side. All right, number 3. Ooh, we got a lot of given stuff here. S is the midpoint of QU. Then we know segment QR is congruent to segment ST, and segment RS is congruent to segment TU. So let's fill all that stuff in. S is the midpoint of QU, that's given. Okay, segment QR is congruent to segment ST, that's given. Segment RS is congruent to segment TU, that's given. All right, so let's label those. QR is congruent to ST, RS is congruent to TU. Okay, so we got two sides, so it's either side, 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 or side, angle, side. We don't know anything about our angles, but we do have this midpoint. S is the midpoint of this. So again, S is going to cut QU in half. So QS is going to be congruent to SU. QS is congruent to SU by the definition of midpoint. So then we can say triangle QRS is congruent to triangle STU by side, side, side. Pretty snazzy, isn't it? All right. 3 more. How about number 4? Oh, okay. Triangle FGH and triangle FJH are right triangles. GH is congruent to JH. We need to prove that those two triangles are congruent. So let's write our given stuff. GH and triangle FJH are right triangles. Okay, I don't have enough. RT is right. That's triangles. That's given. Right, then they tell us that GH is congruent to JH, because that's given. Okay, go ahead, label your picture. All right, so GH congruent to JH. We know FH is congruent to FH, because that's that reflexive property. All right, this FH for both of them is the hypotenuse. So that's a hypotenuse and a leg, hypotenuse and a leg. So we can just stop right at 4. Triangle FGH is congruent to triangle FJH by hypotenuse leg. We like those right triangles. It saves us a step. All right, number 5. Oops, too far. Okay, we're given that KL is parallel to NP. Okay, when I was checking homework, you can never ever put down a reason for something to be congruent because they're parallel. Okay, that doesn't work. When you see parallel lines, that is going to be an indicator that you're going to have corresponding angles or maybe some alternate interior angles. Okay, that's what that means. All right, so KL is parallel to NP. That's our given. We're told that KL is congruent to PN, because that's given. I can't write given. Given. All right, so KL is congruent to PN. They're also parallel. Okay, so right now we only know one thing about our angles. Or one thing about our sides. So it can't be side, 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 or side, angle, side. It has to be one of the other ones. All right. We have some vertical angles here. So we can say angle KML is, so we started at K, down to M, out to L. It's going to be congruent to angle PMN. We start at P, up to N, out to N, because they're vertical. Spell angles. All right, since these are parallel lines, this angle here, oops, I should do 2. So angle L and angle N are going to be congruent because they're alternate interior. All right, so now we have angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. So we have triangle KML is congruent to triangle PMN by angle, angle, side. All right, number 6. TY is congruent to XY. Angle TBY is congruent to angle XWY. Forgot my letters there. And we need to prove that those two triangles are congruent. So again, let's put in our congruents, or our givens. Angle TBY congruent to angle, how about XWY? Because that's given. All right, so let's label those. So TY is congruent to XY. TVY, so start at T, down to V, up to Y, so this angle here. And then we've got angle XWY, so this angle here are going to be congruent. All right, what else do we have? So we have an angle and a side. So it could be side, angle, side. Could be angle, angle, side. Could be angle, side, angle. Okay, do we know anything about another angle or another side? No, we know nothing else. All we know is that TY is congruent to XY. That's it for sides. So it can't be side, angle, side. Okay. We need a second angle though. Where are we going to find that second angle? Yeah, these vertical angles right here. Okay, so angle VYT is going to be equal to this guy over here, WYX, because they're vertical angles. Right, and now we've got angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. It's not angle, side, angle, because that would have been angle, side, angle. Okay, so it's angle, angle, side. So triangle TBY is congruent to triangle XWY by angle, angle, side. Okay, I hope that helps a little bit, but don't worry, when we're going to spend some time next week, probably Monday and Tuesday, reviewing all the stuff you have questions on from this week. Okay, so start looking over your notes from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and even this stuff, and your homework assignments from the entire week, because I'm probably going to be asking you over the weekend to let me know which ones you've got questions on, so I know which ones to really focus on and to try and find some extra practice and stuff like that for you. All right, so your homework for today is homework, let's go down. Homework 4.7, proofs review all methods, so it's exactly what we were doing. 1 through 6, you're going to determine if the triangles can be proved congruent, if possible, okay? So you're going to see if you can do it by side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side, or hypotenuse leg. Okay, if you can, you're going to write one of those. Some of these you might not be able to, so then you're just going to write not congruent because we don't have enough information. All right, then 7 and 8, 9, 10, 11. Those are just proofs, just like what we were doing. If you've got questions, please shoot me a message and I will help you out. Have a fantastic weekend and I'll see you Monday morning.